Deus Vault, my fellow gamers. Here today, I'm gonna show you guys the models that I'll be using instead of Mantic's Goreblight models for the undead range. The Goreblight model was originally released, I think, for the Night Stalkers. It's more of a horror, like nightmarish, gory, grotesque model. I don't think it fits well with the undead theme. Leastwise, not the one I'm going for. If you just wanted random mess stitched together, like, you know, the third leg and little bitty arms attached to main arms and just goofy stuff like that, then go for the Goreblight. But I despise the model, so I'm not going to freaking use it. What I wanted is, I wanted to use a super old model that I had in my collection that is just awesome. And B, I wanted to find a Frankenstein model, which if you read the description of Goreblight, it matches more closely, pretty much. So I'll go over this painted guy first. This is the Grave Horror, and actually it came on a nice chunky metal base. This model's all metal. It's very, very nice. And it's an old model from Reaper. They had the game Warlord, and this is for their Necropolis faction. It's a green stuff skull I made ages ago for this guy. And just, you know, a bit of a coffin broken on his arm there, little ribs and skull sticking out everywhere. And what I did with this particular model, on it is sculpted these little patches. You can't really see, but what I did is I actually glued ballast in there. I have a fine grit ballast to give it a bit more texture and to look like earth is actually sticking to it. As well as, I might actually put another blotch of tuft right there instead of this hanging grass. Have these tufts, you know, just put one there because it's a nice big area for it. But you've got vines, roots or whatever, a bunch of skulls. This lantern I just blacked out. He does have a little lantern on the back of his leg for that OSL. If you wanted to put light around here, you definitely could. And I did not varnish coat this because what I do with glass is I varnish coat it with like a Games Workshop art coat or something like that. But I left it black for future use. Because with the Undead Army I have so much to paint, I'm kind of just breezing through it, really. But yeah, this guy was like a big giant monster. One of the biggest models, I believe, aside from the dragons that they made for that Warlord game. Yeah, there you can pick up the texture a bit more on his leg. That ballast gives it. Just gives it a nice gritty texture. But you know, the oranges in the eyes, and it was a shame to try to cram him all on the 40 mil here, and even part of his foot sticks off, just a little part. But he's a giant dude. Very happy to paint him up. I actually have had him for well over a decade. The Warlord game is now since defunct, I believe. I don't know if with the Bones lines that they did anything else. I don't even think that they re-released him in Bones. I think he's only in metal, I believe. So, okay, there's the model that I wanted. And actually, this comes about by really the Lazy Pirate wargaming channel. That guy, he has a bunch of different models. Actually, one of his Goreblights is a Reaper Bones, but it's a grave golem. So basically, like, it has graveyard gate for wings, and it's mostly made up of just tombstones and mausoleum bits, the bigger bits, because his head is like a big mausoleum. So he isn't like bits and pieces with bones sticking in him, like he's actually part of a grave that's come up. And I guess this guy mostly should be dirt, but I just love big rock monsters. So, yeah, that's just why I have him like this, and dirt sticking to him. So, but anyways, let's go on to my next acquisition. I had to look a fair bit for a guy that I actually like. Get him out of the shot here. All right, so the Tombstone and Jack-o'-lantern are definitely my own additions, but this guy came off of Etsy. I usually don't do 3D printed models. This guy is 3D printed, and he has excellent detail. You can see where the shadows fall on those stitches. That's actually gaps underneath the stitches. That's awesome. That's excellent, excellent detail. This was a one-piece model, just one piece of resin, and all this detail. The pipes is all on him. These straps are on him. No need to assemble, no need for anything. He's just pure 3D printed goodness. The best, hands down, 3D printed model that I have purchased. Love those big stitches. So yeah, what I wanted was a ripped Frankenstein dude, and that's exactly what I got. You know, his brains are exposed there with two tubes leading into it, so it's not ultra grotesque. I mean, it's a little nasty, and he's got the plugs on the side of his head instead of the side of his neck, because this dude doesn't have a neck really. Just his head stuck to his back. But kind of rocking a Van Helsing Frankenstein bit here on his chest. And the tubes are weird. I don't know. I'm going to keep them. But I think I could have lived without them. I could have cut them off and it would have been fine as well. And it would have been more true to form to Frankenstein. But we'll see. Now that I think about it, I think I could cut them and get away with it. But yeah, because I don't feel that they're necessary. They weren't on the original Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which is kind of what I wanted. I didn't want the Boris Karloff wearing a sheepskin vest and with a flat head and whatnot. I didn't want that because he's too thin, rail thin. I wanted somebody like, whoa, like just freaking ripped, and that's what I got here. So this guy, he came on a 50 mil round, and you know, this is the second part, I guess you could say, but you know, his feet molded in here, kind of, so you could tell where to glue him down. Comes with the tombstone and just some broken stuff. It's a really nicely textured base, and these guys, 3D Art Digital. So you can go on his site on Etsy, his little section, his shop, and find them. This model here was only $11, and actually it was on sale before I bought it. It was on sale for like $9 or $7, something like that. An excellent model, great detail for $11. I definitely am going to paint him up soon. In contrast, this guy's $30. If you can find him, there's one on eBay now I'm looking at, but I'm like, I already have one painted, and I think I'm good with that. But yes, there's one on eBay for around $30, and I think he's worth it. He's older, kind of vintage model, and he's just a lot of fun to paint. This guy's going to be, you know, skin shades and whatnot. You can make him all kinds of nationalities if you want, because he's Frankenstein. I'm going to make him a homogeneous color because that's how we do. And really, I think maybe a green. Frankenstein originally was green, even though we know he's black and white. He's originally like a green guy. Herman Munster, they didn't put it across in the black and white episodes, but he is a green guy. So I think making him a shade of green would be pretty righteous and pretty gnarly. We'll see. I might try some skin putrefaction and whatnot. And we'll see what goes on. I mean, it's supposed to be living tissue, so I don't know. And I will be doing 2 hordes of zombies in like green. I got this really crazy duck egg color. It's pretty gnarly. So as far as this base, I think I just wanted to keep it to show you guys this 3D art digital. I think I'm going to chuck the base because I don't use round on anything. Yeah, sci-fi stuff, yes, it's fine, but my fantasy stuff, I want it square, baby. Rank up that fantasy stuff. So currently, you guys haven't heard from me in a while. I painted him pretty quickly, but I'm working now on a regiment of revenants, painting it, and I'm doing it assembly line style, a little bit of paint on each model, and over 20, you know, it gets redundant. I did formulate the undead priming scheme to where I can crank out the models faster. And in all truth, I haven't been working on these revenants for very long, but it's been a long time since I've cranked out models like this, and so it is a bit arduous. Really, what I've been doing recently the past 3 years is working on usually just single individual sculpts, and that's it. Like, I'll just have the one sculpt, and I'll, you know, keep painting individuals, and that's fun. It's not boring. It doesn't feel tedious. It's a lot of enjoyment, and that's why I painted him right after building a massive undead army, which I'm still building. But yeah, I'll show you guys my revenant regiment when it's done. It's 20 dudes. I have another 40 of them to paint. That won't be done anytime soon, I don't think. I'm gonna, I'll do a regiment of one troop, and I'll do a regiment another troop. I'll do some cavalry. I'll do, you know, you gotta break things up. And I have some very easy models to do. Those wraiths, the wraiths are basically just gonna be a wash, and they'll mostly be done. So yeah, I do have some easy stuff to do, but like these guys, they're fun stuff to do. And I'm very excited about him, so I might paint him directly after I paint the revenants. Yeah, because he is going to be cool with all his detail and stuff, and the finished job should look really awesome. Yeah, I'm excited about this guy as a Goreblight model. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. We're winding down. Well, we're actually kind of in the middle of October now. So I'm definitely not letting the grass grow under my feet as far as painting models and all that good stuff. So you guys take it easy, put out your inflatables and your spider webs and whatnot, and I will talk to you later. Carry your laser.